Saul Bass, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we're all here, I think it's time to take some questions or comments. You've got something, okay.
I think this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life.
I think, yeah, actually, I should be taking down your name for the quote later. Yes?
How do we revive the idealism of the 60s?
How do we revive the idealism of the 60s?
Distribute this film around the world. Pour gravy on the world.
Yes?
Where are you in acquiring the funds for wider distribution? I went to the opening in Berkeley and I wondered where it's come since then.
So sort of where are you in terms of making it available more widely?
She used the word funds. Where am I with funds? And I'm open to funds. We're doing it ourselves right now, so we raise the money to just to open here. We wanted to open in the Bay Area for you guys first, and then we'll open in New York, and we're raising funds. We still have to pay off the licensing fees. That's kind of it's like we're at the gate, and we just need to open that gate with that last bit of money to pay off those fees, because we have people, theaters around the country that do want it. But if you feel this film is important and that people should see it, we don't have an advertising budget right now. So if you could be our advertisers and let everybody know to come see it. It's at the Shattuck for another week and at the Red Lit. We would really appreciate it. Facebook, email, if you still use the telephone, call people. Because the industry is watching, we've got a great review in Variety. But they're watching to see if people go see the movie. So if people go see the movie in the next week, it will have a life.
Also, if you know people in New York City, the Cement Apple, we're opening at the IFC. We'll be there for 1 week. And then we're also going to be in Woodstock for a week.
We'll also be signing posters outside afterwards in the lobby and accepting donations, and every little bit helps. It all goes directly towards taking this film out to more and more audiences around the country. So we'll be out there after the screening.
So we mentioned earlier, you open in New York on Wednesday. Do you have other cities set up yet, or are you still working on that?
Honestly, the theaters actually said, we're waiting to see what happens in San Francisco and New York. So they, like so many theaters have contacted us, but they're waiting. So.
Yes?
For those of us who have reluctantly stayed away from computers and emails, is it possible to get a P.O. box? And also, a P.O. box because I am homeless, but I have more home because I do what's best, and I live on the Joan Baez Memorial Knoll. And I assure you, I spend most of my time with the homeless, and you'll get a lot of money from them.
Saying that quite you have an audience with the homeless.
Bless you, thank you.
So is there a P.O. box that I can get?
Is there a P.O. box?
Well, there's an address,
Okay,
and
good.
I'll give it to you. Since you
Good.
don't have a computer, I will give you our address. Yes, thank you. God bless you.
Yes.
Do you have any contacts or any way to promote the film with PBS?
Question was about a PBS exposure for the film.
Well, we did submit it to PBS, to POV, and basically, I forget what's the other one, Independent Lens, but they turned it down. But you know, they might take a second look after we release, because we've had such great reviews, and next week we'll get our New York Times review, and a lot of times it makes a big difference. If they see that people really want to see it, they'll take a second look. So we can wake them up. But what's the PBS station here? KQED. They do want to show the film in California.
Yes, there.
Just a comment, it helps to let your PBS station know that you want to see it. That has a huge effect, so everyone just follow.
Yes, 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 there.
Is it true that Wavy's gonna head up Homeland Security?
Did you say Homeland Security or Homeland Insecurity?
Everywhere I hang my heart is home, it's just the closet keeps moving.
Yes.
With the situation in the world as it is, as we all hear about, Wavy, what kind of medicine would you prescribe for what's going on now?
With the situation in the world as it is, what kind of medicine would you prescribe for what's going on now?
Loving kindness and chicken soup.
Yes.
Are there plans to get it to Canada, to Vancouver, to the film festivals, Toronto, et cetera?
Well, we've done 16 film festivals, so we're sort of done with the film festivals, but we did screen at a film festival, Doxa in Vancouver. We had a great time there. And actually, Banyan Books in Vancouver is celebrating their 40th anniversary December 9th. They're going to show the film along with Ram Das and Ramesh Das of Ramesh Wardas. They just released a book, Be Love Now. So Ram Das is going to Skype in from Maui, and then they're going to show St. Misbehavin. But yeah, we're actually getting a lot of requests from Canada.
I'm wondering if you worked on the film for 10 years, and I guess you did too, Wade.
74 years and counting.
I was wondering the guys at the end, if that, you've been on the project for a while or more recently.
I met Wavy and Shaw and the people at the hog farm there's hog farmers here. Stacy's here, and Zach Dealer here.
Can the hog farmer stand up?
If you're a hog farmer,
Yeah, please stand up.
Oh, come on, Jesus. Don't be shy. Yeah, there's one to that. But I met Wavy and Jockey Farm great, and just immediately was taken taken in as a friend and as a family member. And when Michelle asked me to do this composing job, which was my first score, I thought, wow, this would be just amazing. And then I got to do a lot of producing, which is something I'm more comfortable with. But I guess, when did we start? 3 years ago? 2 years ago? Because I started writing music 2 years ago in my little home lab, and in a very short while, I realized, one, that this was no longer the precious little singer-songwriter thing where everything I ever did was perfect. It became this thing where I was serving. It was the most wonderful team effort ever. Michelle made the environment and David made the environment so beautiful for a musician to feel like we were part, but we weren't actually precious, which is actually what we all need as musicians. And but by the time we got to the end and all the music was written and all the tracks were recorded and we got to working on Wavy's anthem, that was the most fun of all, because I felt like I was a hog farmer for a minute there. I just rolled up my sleeves and wheeled out my Rolodex and made a lot of phone calls, and pretty soon we were on our way to doing the greatest jigsaw puzzle that I ever got to do in my entire life. It was maybe all these singers and all these choral, beautiful gospel singers and all of the studios that we worked in all around the country, and we got tracks flown to us, and no one knew what it was going to sound like until I had all the music in hand, and it turned out like this. So Wavy's song, that's my biggest gift, I guess, that I'll ever get to do, is to take something like that that's so perfect and put it in a form that other people can maybe jam to. So.
And it's my dream that we, once all the licensing is taken care of, that we let people secure it for a couple of bucks, and then the money would go to SEVA, and more people would not bump into stuff, because 80% the people in the world that are blind don't need to be blind and can get their sight back for about 40, 50 bucks. Yeah?
I just wanted to say that the best Christmas or Hanukkah present that I've ever given, and I do it every year, is to buy somebody their sight in the third world and then put it in somebody that I love's name. And then they do it for me too, and it's just so awesome. Open up the card and it says, someone just received sight in the third world in your name. It's better than a candle.
Yes, back there.
I just have a brainstorm for anybody that has free calling, free long distance. Like, get on the phone one day and get numbers for all the channel 9s all over the U.S. and call them up and say, hey, you gotta get this on there. I could spend a couple hours doing that, a few hours doing that with my free calling. And I'm a Camp and a Rainbow person, and I've been inspired ever since I met Wavy Gravy and Jeff. So thank you, thank you.
I just wanted to ask Emery some of the names of the singers that sang down in the garden in that last year.
The background singers?
Yeah, no, that did each verse.
The first verse that we're finding out now gets completely drowned out by the applause for the movie is Jackson Brown and Dr. John. That session was amazing. Mac was not feeling his best, and he came in just like Wavy, and wherever he has to do what he has to do, especially for the clown. What did he say? He always says, "There ain't no con in that clown at all." He showed up and he did it. And the second verse was Bonnie and Taj. I'm making a point of saying that Taj sent us 42 tracks of vocals in case we needed something. And boy, did we keep turning back to him again and again. And then there's a bridge that I sing with Maria Moldar, and then there's Bob Weir singing a chorus, and then Steve Earle sings a verse, and then, oh God, this is horrible. Then Denise Kaufman sings in the chorus mixed with Bonnie and Taj and Jackson, and then T-Bone, well, hold on. I think anybody, this is my Oscar moment. And then Maria and I split a verse at the end, and then there's that beautiful montage. Just on the outro, you can hear Buffy St. Marie, who I forgot, she sings a beautiful verse in the middle in this low thing that she never does, which I'm not sure she ever really liked it all that much, but we loved it. She likes it better now. But at the end, she starts doing her native chanting, and she was so loud, man. When we turned it up in the studio, it was this brilliant thing, and it was like, where do you put it? And the outro now it's fading. Everybody else is dying, and she's just like peaking. So that's who was on the track with these beautiful New York gospel singers that I hired, and my very best friend who died last year, T-Bone Wolk, who is the greatest bass player and musician I ever met. He always showed up and did this track. The track was slamming. We had you on an altar with Odetta, with our dear Odetta, who also passed during the production. Michelle's mom, Odetta. And it's hard to say. Isn't she beautiful? Anyway, so that's the people that are involved. And this community, this musical community is extraordinary. Wavy has an effect on musicians like me that is second to none in my life. He appreciates us and has us as the fiber of everything that he does, and it's extraordinarily beautiful, and it feeds me at times that you can't even believe, so thank you, Wavy.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my good friend Mickey Hart, who is here tonight also, for helping out over all the years. Over there.
I noticed at the beginning of the film that you were in a kind of prayer practice, and then also as you walked the labyrinth, there was a practice there. But all through your life, the practice of helping people when it might not have been the easiest thing for you to do. How do we all reach deeper for that as America trods on in these difficult times? How do we all find that space for ourselves?
People say to me, why do you do it? Because it gets me high. That